You said earlier that there was never really a dream of being a squash player. Because squash wasn't really your thing as a kid.
No, it wasn't at all.
What is your sporting background?
So I was a runner when I was younger, and that was probably, I've said it before, it sounds cliche, but that was kind of what I was told I was kind of born to do. You know, it was definitely my natural gift.
Sprinter, middle distance?
Middle distance,
Okay.
yeah. So I would be competing in like the 5Ks, the 1500s, and yeah, I actually, it's funny, but I still have the record for the boys and girls cross country race that we did at our school when I was like 10 years old. So my record is still faster than the boys' record. Wow. And that stood for, I don't know, like 18 years now. Okay. So yeah, I was kind of always pigeonholed into Gina's going to be a runner and she's going to go to the Olympics and do all these things, which is crazy to say to like a 12-year-old, but I guess my times were pretty good when I was that age, and yeah, I was just always told I was gifted. But because I had so much success when I was younger with running, I just completely lost my head at 12 years old. I just could not deal with the pressure of it. I could not cope with everyone saying, you're going to win this race, like, why are you nervous? I just really internalized everything and thought that it would literally be the end of the world if I weren't to win. Because I would win quite convincingly, and I don't want to sound like cocky or anything, but because I would win by quite a long distance, it would be like people couldn't comprehend why I would be nervous, because they would be like, you're going to win anyway, what are you talking about? Yeah. So then genuinely I thought, oh my God, if I don't win, everyone is going to be so shocked and it's going to be the worst thing that could happen, because I was so young, I didn't understand, you know. And then I would fake injuries to get out of races. I would lie to my mum and say I've hurt myself, and she had no idea the kind of turmoil I was going through at such a young age, just because I couldn't deal with the pressure of it.
Wow. Just anxiety?
Such bad anxiety. Yeah, like literally 2 weeks before a race, I would be like throwing up because I felt sick.
Wow.
It was awful, yeah.
Oh, what kind of level? Are we talking like regional, national? And
yeah, I had the fastest time in England for the 1200 meters. So yeah, that was kind of the level I was competing at. And yeah, it just, yeah, I definitely have like PTSD about it.
If you had that level of anxiety competing on a national level in sprinting, what was different about squash? Because you're still competing at a national level, now an international level.
Yeah, so I think because I started off as a runner and having so much success in that, my squash, I was good and I was doing well, but I was never a Shabini or an Orphy, you know, where you're like, you are the next best thing that's ever happened. So I think if I did do squash first, not that I was ever, you know, and someone who would stand out, but if I did do squash first and had a lot of success with that, perhaps I would have, my personality, perhaps I would have kind of associated squash with all that horrible pressure and everything. But because I compared it to running, I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, win or lose, it's not going to be the end of the world. I hated losing still. Like, I still had that fear of losing, and that actually drove a lot of my success, I think, until probably a couple of years ago when I started to really kind of think about things in more detail. So that fear of losing has always been within me, but I think I always compared it to running, where I just literally couldn't deal with it, that I had to quit. So it was always like manageable. But yeah, if I started off with squash, maybe that would have happened with me in squash, because it's definitely not a healthy way to live.
Is there any part of you that kind of looks back at that now and goes, oh, what if I'd stayed with running?
Definitely, 100%. I think about it all the time, but I don't regret it in any way, because honestly, I hated it so much. And I think my parents and everyone thought that I loved it, because after I won, the elation would be next level, because it was just pure relief, and like, you know, that was what was driving me. So they kind of, and I was hiding the anxiety a lot. So everyone kind of thought I loved running because they would see how happy I was when I won. But I think about, what would happen if I did continue, and I wouldn't have lasted long. I mean, you can't live like that.
No.
I wasn't enjoying the process at all. Even when I was training, I would train twice a week at that point. I would hate it, because if we would do just runs with the group, and say we were doing 400s, every single 400 I felt I had to win no matter what, even in training. So it was just awful. So I hated training. I hated everything, because I was like, anything I do, I had to win. So it was, not great.
Did that come from the first time you ran? I presume you won.
Mm-hmm.
And then
by like a margin,
Right.
by like a long way. So it was like, oh my goodness, Gina's got a talent here. And then that just kept happening. I got noticed for my running. I got like little magazines, like, oh, primary school, Gina Kennedy sets record for race. So just constantly I was just being told, like, oh my God, like, you're winning by so long, by such a margin, this, that. And it just, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't not win. So I would literally fake injuries just so I didn't have to compete.
Well, even now, if you're doing do you do track sessions? So
it took me until I went to college. I could not run at all, even just by myself, because I couldn't just run a 5K just for fun. If I ran a 5K and it wasn't like 18 minutes, I'd be like, what are you doing? This is terrible.
Even though there's no competition in this?
Yep. So even now, like, say if during COVID, my boyfriend wanted to go on some runs, I was just like, I can't feel like, because I know I will end up racing him, and then it's just a stressful environment for me. So I do run now. I love it. I really enjoy it. I do loads of treadmill. I go to the track, but I don't love doing stuff with anyone else. Just I can do it now, and I've gotten better, but it's still something that I'm like, oh God, I've got real PTSD with this.
Do you think you can do it now because I'm doing this treadmill session for squash?
Yeah, I think so.
Whereas going out the door to do a 5K maybe brings back those memories?
100%. And even, it's weird, there is a place where I used to race, where I used to with my club, and I went back there to like do a 5K, and I had like physical like stress symptoms just from being there.
Wow.
It was wild, honestly. So I have gotten better for sure, and like processed it. But when I think about it, I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on there that I still need to unpack.
Given that, you said then you went to college, so obviously promising junior runner, picks up a squash racket. Why?
Just by accident, really. I was playing tennis, and one of my friends' dads wanted her to play squash, and I was good. She wouldn't play without a friend, so he asked my parents, "Oh, Gina is sporty. Can she play squash just with Darcy, just to get her involved?" And I played and just really enjoyed it. Like, none of my parents play. Neither of my parents play. My family doesn't play. I'm the only squash player in the family.
Wow.
So it was just literally completely by accident.
And then did you sort of immediately go into the junior competitive squash circuit, or?
I think I was still I was like playing football at the time for Crystal Palace. Like, I was doing loads.
Crystal Palace?
Yeah. I was very sporty, I think.
Oh, hold on. What position were you?
I was centre mid.
For Crystal Palace,
under
junior league?
Yeah, junior, like under 12 or whatever I was at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Under 14, I think I still played. And then at like 13, that's when I was literally playing a match for Palace, and then sprinting over to Croydon to play a tournament. So I was trying to do everything, and then it was just too much. So decided to stick with squash because, I loved it. Didn't have to train as much as I would have done if I gave up tennis a few years before that, because they were like, you need to start training before school and stuff. And my parents were like, no, this is too much. Okay. So squash was the easiest thing for me to do, I think. Okay. Yeah.
There's no chance of you going down the football route?
Not really. I really loved football, but I think an individual sport was always something I had to do.